Hi there. As you know, my name is Jessica Kishpa, and I work with women to heal their relationship with food so that they achieve and sustain their optimal weight and health goals. I'd like to talk to you just for a few minutes about how I work with women and how our methodology is so different from the diets most women have tried over and over. Most women fail over and over on the yo-yo diet roller coaster because their family is really busy, they're helping their spouses, they're helping their kids, or because these diets are so restrictive and made for the general masses, they are damaging to women's hormones, which causes a dysfunctional metabolism. And that causes the weight to just pile back on when the diet's over. Also, restrictive diets are unsustainable for the lifestyle of being a busy working woman, mom, wife, like having to cook 2 or more meals for the family, or be a short order cook for other family members. Or when life gets hard or stressful, dieting doesn't account for the stress or the emotional eating that often sabotages many women's goals. And a lot of times there is a lot of skepticism from women or from their loved ones because most people think they just need to eat more vegetables or cut calories or go to the gym. But of course, if that were true, everyone would easily lose weight and keep it off forever. It's the keeping it off part that's the tricky part here. So I'm going to walk you through how we not only can increase your results, not just in the next 3 months, but help you create real habit change so that these habits can last forever. We give you tools, we give you support for women to overcome their struggles with emotional eating, food behaviors, so that they can achieve and again sustain not only their weight loss goals, but achieve optimal health and a positive relationship with food, physically and mentally for the long haul. And most women coming out of the LoYo Method program are less irritable, happier, with more patience for their family, for their kids, for their spouse. Mentally, they have more space and clarity, so they're more organized because they're not as overwhelmed or overconsumed with thinking about food and diets all the time. And they're definitely more confident in themselves and in their bodies. So that creates a positive ripple effect. They're not missing out on creating memories like being in photos with their children or going on family adventures and hikes, or even being intimate with their spouses. You can guess what that means if you're a spouse or partner watching. So what do we do inside of our mentorship and coaching program? We work on 3 key components. Number 1 being breaking dieting behaviors. Most diet programs or diet books do not get to the root cause. They simply tell you cut calories or restrict food. And that does not work for the long haul, because restricting calories causes you to feel all sorts of symptoms: cravings, hunger, moodiness, to name a few, right? Fatigue. And it's simply unsustainable. Diets are too restrictive for your unique, busy lifestyle, and diets disconnect you from what your body and mind really need and want. Plus, dieting creates a bit of an all or nothing mentality around food, causing you to either follow the strict diet rule and need to do that perfectly, which creates a lot of food obsession and overthinking, guilt, shame, perfectionism around food, and then feeling like a constant failure when we can't live up to those high standards of the diet rules, which also could lead to eating in secret or binge eating behaviors and leading to more shame and embarrassment. So instead, what we do is help women break down those behavioral patterns and let go of the dieting patterns so that they can alleviate some of the unconscious self-sabotaging habits. Women in our program have a community of support with like-minded women who are also struggling with similar challenges, where they can finally feel safe and comfortable to open up to these other women about these really difficult and painful emotions that they usually keep to themselves. The women in the program are learning to be more mindful, intuitive, intentional with food, instead of, viscerally reactive because of emotion or stress or busy schedules, like grabbing and going, right? Grab and go healthy on unhealthy choices. So changing dieting behaviors is often one of the keys to how weight loss becomes easier and more sustainable, and how women are not falling 10 steps backwards at the sign of, stress or a difficult day. Number 2 is creating hormonal harmony. Most women's fat burning hormones are likely out of whack from all the ups and downs of dieting behaviors, like restricting and binging, or from eating foods at the wrong times and the wrong combinations. And of course, our body responds with cravings, like we mentioned, and other symptoms like fatigue or moodiness. When we add the fact that women's hormones are quite different from men's, and that additional hormonal chaos happens from being over 40 years old, we see a lot of changes that need to be addressed. And it's not by restricting more calories or overexercising. Add on that stress. Stress disrupts our blood sugar and our ability to burn fat. So even if you are eating very healthy and all the vegetables in the world, stress is going to prevent your body from releasing excess weight. Stress is a hormone disruptor, and it also can create emotional urges, emotional cravings, which are almost impossible to ignore. So it's like wanting a glass of wine or a bowl of ice cream at the end of a long day because you want to take the edge off. Dieting does not work to manage that stress, nor does it work to optimize your hormones productively. In fact, it can actually cause more physiological stress, nutritionally and emotionally, each time you fall off the wagon. This is why we help women fuel their body with hormone balancing, nutrient dense foods and work with your hormones. We provide a ton of recipe books and actionable tools so that you can feel satisfied. We minimize those crazy cravings. We reclaim control of the cravings, make sure your hormones are balanced so your body feels amazing and feels safe to burn fat. Plus, we help with stress alleviation, and not just stress alleviation, stress resilience. Building stress resilience so your body can stop storing sugar as fat. So whether it is relaxation techniques that bring down your, calm your nervous system, or actually building the resilience so you don't actually feel the stress as much, because stressors are always going to exist. That's life. But we build and balance work and life stressors. Help with time management, learn to declutter or better organize your life, how to manage your life stressors, because as we know, there's always going to be hard times. There's always going to be stress in our life. It's actually, how do we handle those events with ease? How do we find calm in the chaos of your very, very busy life? And this all makes living an optimally healthy lifestyle much easier. It allows women to actually feel more at ease with their emotions and challenges. And this then allows you not to derail success or derail motivation, and you can continue to have these positive momentums moving forward. Number 3 is all about emotional mastery, which, dieting doesn't tell us how to manage our emotions. It doesn't tell us how to manage or limit the inner critic, the voice in our head that often talks about self-worth and self-esteem and whether we deserve to have the life that we live. And you know what? You absolutely deserve that life. What I have found from women that I've worked with is most women struggle to lose weight because they are driven by emotions or ingrained habits, where the mind is conditioned to think and act a certain way when you're under a certain emotion. And it's often stress, but it can be other emotions or situations like loneliness or grief or sadness or anger or frustration or even boredom. And that's why we help our clients rewire their mindsets and create emotional mastery through many different types of emotional mindset tools, and getting to the root of emotion and separating the emotion from the food. And this is the biggest reason why women are finding themselves stuck on the diet train. So we teach women to build a positive relationship with food, to take imperfect action through the process, to separate the emotions and deal with the emotions and deal with the feelings and deal with the habits and keep that separate from their food choices. And this is how we're having so much success in helping women overcome emotional eating, overcome mindless eating, overcome boredom eating, and be able to sustain their health goals. So just to wrap up, this is all of the reasons why it's not just about eating more vegetables or going to the gym. We focus on the missing pieces that all known diets will miss. We focus on the root cause, right? This is why women constantly struggle. It's different for women versus men. It's different when emotions are in play. It's different when we can get to the root cause of our thoughts and our feelings and our behaviors.